There are moments in Scripture where two prophetic worlds stand side by side, and only the Spirit can show the seam between them. Ezekiel's temple and the little season belong to two different ages, two different purposes, two different revelations, yet many try to collapse them into one. But when the dust settles and the word speaks for itself, the picture becomes unmistakably clear. One belongs to the glory of the kingdom, the other to the final rebellion after it has passed. Ezekiel's temple rises in the pages of prophecy like a structure too large for history to contain. Its measurements are exact, its chambers defined, its river alive, its worship restored, its prince present. Nothing like it has ever stood on the earth. Not Solomon's temple, not Zerubbabel's, not Herod's. This temple belongs to a world ruled by the king himself. A world where the nations come to Jerusalem, where righteousness is enforced, and where the glory of the Lord fills the house once more. It is the worship center of the Millennial Kingdom, the visible sign that the promises to Israel have been restored and fulfilled. But the little season belongs to a different horizon. It is not the beginning of the kingdom, it is the end of it. It comes after the 1,000 years have run their course, after Christ has ruled with a rod of iron, after the nations have walked in the light of his righteousness. Only then, when the kingdom has proven the justice of God beyond dispute, does Satan rise again for a brief and final rebellion. The little season is not a time of building but of testing, not a time of worship but of exposure, not a time of glory but of the last unveiling of the human heart. Between these two realities stands the entire millennial age. Ezekiel's temple belongs to the beginning of that age, the moment Christ returns, restores Israel, divides the land, and establishes his throne in Jerusalem. The little season belongs to the end, after the temple has served its purpose, after the nations have lived under perfect government, after the world has known peace for 1,000 years. The temple rises at the dawn of the kingdom, the little season erupts at its dusk. This is why the claim that we are in the little season now collapses under the weight of Scripture. If we were in the little season, then the kingdom would already have come. Christ would already be reigning on earth. Israel would already be restored. The nations would already be at peace. And Ezekiel's temple, the great house of glory, would have already stood for 1,000 years. But none of this has happened. The world we see is not the world Ezekiel described, nor the world Revelation promises before the final rebellion. Ezekiel's temple has not disappeared. It has not been spiritualized. It has not been fulfilled in the church. It has simply not yet come. It waits on the other side of the Lord's return, on the other side of Israel's restoration, on the other side of the kingdom's dawn. And the little season waits even further still, a brief, fierce moment after the kingdom has completed its 1,000-year testimony to the righteousness of God. So the story is simple, and the scriptures are clear. Ezekiel's temple belongs to the kingdom, the little season belongs to the end of it. One is the beginning of glory, the other is the final unveiling before eternity. And until the king himself returns, neither has yet begun. We are not in the little season. Ezekiel's temple has never existed. It will be built when Christ returns and restores Israel in the Millennial Kingdom. The little season happens after the millennium, long after Ezekiel's temple has served its purpose.